Deluxe Disney perks at a fraction of the cost. Here's everything you need to know about staying at the Swan Hotel. I'm Rico.
And I'm Alex, and we stayed at the Swan Hotel for 5 nights on our last Disney trip. We're going to give you all the details about this hotel.
Yeah, so if you've been looking for everything that you need to know about staying at the Swan Hotel, you are in the right place. Today we'll be covering amenities, food, transportation, and special perks that you get from staying at the Swan Hotel.
Make sure you stay until the very end to hear our honest opinion about if we were to stay here again.
And like this video. And subscribe to the channel.
There are 3 hotels on this property: the Swan, the Dolphin, and the Swan Resort. It's a little bit confusing since it's typically referred to as Disney's Swan and Dolphin Resort, but it's actually not owned or operated by Disney. It's just located on Disney property, and it's known as a sister hotel, or a good neighbor hotel, so it's very...
It shares a lot of the same perks as your usual Disney resorts.
Yeah, and you'll notice that while it's on Disney property, it actually doesn't have any Disney theming since it isn't owned by Disney. So some of those, themed rooms or lobbies or dining locations, they aren't themed to Disney intellectual property. It's still a great hotel, just missing some of that magic if that's what you're looking for. We stayed at the Swan Hotel, which is located really, really close to Disney's boardwalk. So the beach resort, I think, is over there, and the yacht club are really close by. And it's right between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So it's very, very easy to walk to both of those resorts. And then you have transportation to the other ones, which we'll get into a little later.
Yeah, so the Swan Hotel is, fun facts, is 12 stories tall, 750 rooms, and they offer traditional and deluxe rooms as well as a variety of suites for whatever needs you might have. On average, guests can expect to spend a significant amount less than comparable deluxe Disney resorts. However, there is a $40 per day fee by the hotel that you will have to pay at the end of your stay.
Yeah, the resort fee covers daily Wi-Fi, pedal boat rentals, fitness classes, and it also gives you some money off of spa services if you decide to take part in those. Mm-hmm. You can book with Marriott or credit card points, which is basically like staying there for free, with the exception of the daily resort fee.
Yeah, you gotta girl math it a little bit. So we stayed in a deluxe room with a resort view, and it had a king bed and a lot of other really cool features that we liked.
Yeah, there was a lot of mirrors, so I think that's something that girls look for, probably boys too, but sometimes you go to a hotel and there's not any mirrors, or there's only one in the bathroom. This room had a mirror in the bathroom, it had a full-size mirror outside of the bathroom, and then lots of little mirrors around the room for, many people to get ready at the same time. It also had a TV, it was super spacious, and the bathroom was really impressive actually. It had great lighting in the bathroom, but then also had a rainfall shower, which was really nice.
And it carried your standard toiletries and personal care items that you would expect.
And lots of storage. The closet actually had a lot of shelves and things like that, so you had room to put your things away.
And then you had the option for daily housekeeping. So if you did not want them to come through, you just put a little tab on the door that you're used to from staying at any other hotel.
Yeah, the bed was super comfortable too. I don't think we mentioned that. But
it was great.
The pillows were great. I'm personally allergic to down feathers, so that's sometimes an issue when we stay in hotels, and they were really great about giving us the right pillows and all those things.
And if you're like us, you're at Disney, the Disney parks from open all the way until close, so you know that a good rest is an absolute must while you're at Disney World.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about some of the amenities at the Swan Hotel. Now, they have a number of pools, including a grotto pool with waterfalls and a water slide, a couple of lap pools, and several hot tubs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're actually shared between the Swan and the Dolphin. So that's something to note. You will be able to kind of pop over to the Dolphin, check out some of their pools.
Also, there are plenty of cabanas out by the pools that are available for rent.
There were a number of poolside restaurants, and all of those poolside restaurants did mobile ordering. So they'll deliver food right to your beach chair at any of the pools.
And if you have kids, or if you're a kid at heart, there's also Giant Connect 4, ping pong, a variety of activities around the pool and outdoor area for your enjoyment.
Yeah, and there were, from our count, at least 4 whirlpools. And pro tip, you can actually see some of the Epcot fireworks from a couple of the whirlpools. So make sure you check those out if you're at your resort at that time.
Also in the outdoor areas, they do have a white sand beach available with some volleyball courts and some loungers there. So you could definitely just set up there and relax for a few. Really nice. We didn't get to because we were mostly at the parks or at the pools, but also a really cool space to be.
Yeah, and they also had an outdoor basketball court as well as a playground for kids. Camp Dolphin, which was supervised arts and crafts, games, and movies for your kids. Not to mention they had tons of activities and areas for fitness enthusiasts.
Yeah, we can't go talking about amenities without talking about the fitness center.
Yeah, this was definitely the best fitness center we've seen in a hotel. Almost. I can't think of another one that was better. But it had a full gym, lots of treadmills, lots of trails if you wanted to walk or run outside too, with, lots of different scenery.
Yeah, I mean, if you're used to any other ordinary hotel gym, it might be like one bench, a couple dumbbells, and one treadmill in a tiny closet type of space. This was definitely not that. It was a very big gym. We do have some footage of it here. And it had plenty of cardio equipment, free weights.
Yeah.
It had Smith machines. Anything that you could need, really.
Yeah, and something really unique to this hotel was they had fitness classes almost every morning. So you can pick up a schedule or check the app for the times for those. But they had aqua aerobics, Zumba, yoga on the beach, and more. We also got a chance to check out the spa.
Yeah, the spa was awesome. We took advantage of the spa after going to the 4 Disney parks 4 days in a row. Our feet and our legs were ready for it.
Yeah. Great place to relax. They let you in a little bit before any services you were getting, and then you were able to stay after and kind of just relax in their lounge areas. It was really nice and quiet.
It's called the Mandara Spa, and it's located at the Dolphin Resort. So being guests at the Swan, we would still have access to that spa, just as the pools were also shared between the Swan and Dolphin.
Yeah, and they also have a business center, so you want to talk a little about that?
Yeah, the business center was probably one of the first amenities that we took advantage of because you can ship items to the business center if maybe they won't fit in your luggage on the way to the hotel, and you can ship things back to your home from the hotel using the business center.
Yeah, this was a hot take. Rico ordered new shoes to the hotel to wear in the parks. Comment down below if you've ever done that. Worn new shoes to the parks, and did it work out for you? Did it work out for you?
Like this video and you'll find out.
It did work out for him.
It did work out. They weren't going to get here in time, so I had to get them shipped over there, and I'm just glad it worked out.
A couple other things I wanted to mention was there was a merch store, so you were able to check out any kind of Disney related merch in the store at the Swan. I believe there's also one at the Dolphin, and they had a Disney vacation planning desk, so you can make some, buy tickets, do things like that at that desk. And they also had a lot of different options for travelers. So one of the things that we found really helpful was they were able to hold your luggage at the front desk if you checked in and your room wasn't ready, or you needed to check out and you still had a full day. They were able to hold your luggage at the front desk for you.
Now, there are plenty of great food options at the Swan and Dolphin Hotel as well. There are 8 restaurants between the 2 hotels, including Shula Steakhouse, Il Molino, Blue Zoo, Kimonos, Rosa Mexicano, Amare, The Fountain, and Garden Grove.
We ate at Kimonos, which had live karaoke every night starting at 9:30 p.m.
And we chose fun. Yeah, we chose Kimonos because it was constantly ranked as one of the top sushi places in Orlando, so we were very excited to try it. And yeah, the live karaoke is an added bonus for sure.
Yeah. Garden Grove is also a character dining experience, so check times for Pluto and Goofy walking around at breakfast there.
And it's a really cool restaurant too. We didn't get to eat there, but we were just walking around the hotel, and there's this big beautiful tree with like lanterns hanging from it. It's really nice.
Yeah, for sure. There were also several poolside restaurants, as we mentioned before, and a couple of quick service restaurants that we didn't list. Java was the coffee I don't know what you call it. They had coffee, they had sandwiches, they had to-go items at the Swan. They also had Mickey Waffles, which was really great, and Celsius or other energy drinks, some electrolyte drinks, things like that you could grab and go. We wanted to get to the parks before rope drop, and that presented a problem for caffeine addicts like myself. So I was able to order a cold brew and a snack up in my room while I was getting ready. When we got down to the lobby, I popped in there. It was sitting right there waiting for me, and we were able to grab it and go. It was a great thing for your walk to Epcot or Hollywood Studios, or your ride to Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom.
Now you need to have a picture of your cold brew with like a glowing light in the background.
Yeah. So there are several ways to get to the parks from this hotel. The first one is actually walking. You can get to Epcot within 10 to 15 minutes from the International Gateway entrance, and you can get to Hollywood Studios. It was about 20-minute walk for us.
25 minutes.
25 minutes. Those may sound long for your legs in the morning or after a long park day, but it was actually very convenient to not have to wait on any transportation.
Especially if you're trying to get there early, before rope drop, before early entry.
Yeah.
There are buses, there are a couple other transportation options available that we'll talk about here in a second. But if you're trying to beat even those crowds, walking is just a great way to get there first.
Yeah, I think I wasn't sure about walking. I was like, man, another mile added on to our day, but it was actually really great as long as you left enough time, you weren't rushing on that walk. It really allowed us to get to the front of the pack and get to the things we wanted to during rope drop.
But don't try to walk to Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom.
No, don't.
That's just Epcot and Hollywood Studios.
And speaking of Epcot and Hollywood Studios, you can also, if you prefer not to walk, hop on a water taxi. Those come about every 20 minutes, and they start, I believe, when we were there, they told us they started 45 minutes before the park opened. So those will take you to Epcot, they'll take you to Hollywood Studios, or they can drop you at the Boardwalk or the Yacht and Beach Club.
And they'll pick you up right in between the Swan and Dolphin hotels, and it's included with your stay at the Swan and Dolphin.
Mm-hmm. Yep. To get to Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, or Disney Springs, they offer free buses. They arrive about every 20 minutes as well, and they start 45 minutes before park open. I believe the water taxis and the buses both end about an hour or an hour and a half after parks close. What else do they do?
But you can check with your driver when you're hopping on and off the bus. They'll be happy to let you know when the last bus will be coming through the park to take you back to your hotel.
Yeah, and then just a note about Magic Kingdom. The buses don't actually take you all the way to Magic Kingdom. They're going to take you to the Ticket and Transportation Center, and then you'll hop on the monorail to go to Magic Kingdom. That wasn't a deal breaker for us necessarily.
No, not at all.
We've stayed on, on property hotels that weren't Disney before, so we were used to being at the Ticket and Transportation Center, but I do know that can be a deal breaker for some.
Yeah. Now, again, if you're trying to beat those early entry crowds and the 45 minutes in advance that the buses are going around is not enough for you, you could always just take an Uber or a Lyft. We found them to be between $8 to $12 on average to get from the Swan Hotel to Magic Kingdom or to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, and these hotels also offer airport transports for an extra fee. But again, Uber and Lyft travel to these hotels as well.
Right.
Okay, my favorite part of the video, the perks.
Yeah, the perks. So we talked about transportation a little bit. So those buses, those ferries, they are included. They are part of your perk of staying at the Swan Hotel. Mm-hmm. If you are driving your own vehicle in Orlando at Disney, you can expect free parking at any of the Disney
parks.
Mm-hmm. Yep. However, there is a fee for parking your car at the hotel. Yeah. That's $36 a day.
Yeah, so you get free parking at the parks because you've already paid for it at the hotel. So it's kind of a bonus. If you are like renting a car, I know a couple families, they have stuff. They don't want to Uber all the time. So renting a car, just know that's a perk.
Yep. Other perks include early lightning lane reservations.
Mm-hmm. Individual lightning lanes and Genie Plus lightning lanes can both be booked at 7 a.m.
Exactly.
Kind of confusing.
And then perhaps our favorite perk of all?
Almost. My second favorite. Okay.
Early entry?
Yeah, early entry is my second favorite perk. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so you actually got early entry to every single park.
Yep, so that's 30 minutes before park open. That's when they will let you in. However, we do...
Yeah, you can ride things. I mean, it's not just they let you in. You can get on rides. You can get a lot done during that time.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So big bang for your buck there by getting to go early entry and ride a couple of rides at each park.
We do have some stipulations and some things that we learned about early entry. We're going to get into those in a separate video about our early entry strategies and our rope drop strategies for every park. But the one thing you need to know is in order to take advantage of that early entry, we highly recommend getting there, what do you think, 30 minutes before early entry?
Yeah, I would say we tried to leave our hotel like an hour before early entry.
That sounds early. I know, but you want to be at the front of that crowd that's getting early entry because, you know, there are other hotels that get this too. Disney Deluxe Resorts and I believe Monterey. I'm not sure which Disney. All Disney resorts, do they get it?
Just Deluxe Resort.
Okay. Yeah, there are other hotels that get early entry as well. So you want to make sure you're setting yourself up for success and getting to the front of that pack without, you know, having to shut people out of the way.
You could definitely get 2, maybe 3 big to moderate rides done in that first half hour, and that will save you 2 to 6 hours of your day just waiting in line that you would be spending waiting in line otherwise.
Yeah, so keep that in mind with the transportation that you choose in the morning specifically. We chose to walk to both Epcot and Hollywood Studios since that would be on our timetable. And we actually chose to take an Uber in the morning on the way to Magic Kingdom because we wanted to make sure we were going to, you know, get there on time. So those free transportation options are there for you, the buses and the the water taxis, but
we took advantage of those on the way back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, my favorite park by far. What?
Go ahead.
My favorite perk by far was that we got extended evening hours at one of the parks. So we got 2 extra hours at Magic Kingdom after the park closed to do basically everything. So our Magic Kingdom day was long. We did do early entry and we did do the extended evening hours. If I had to do it over again, we got so much done in the extended evening hours. Early entry could almost be skipped.
Yeah, I guess you could skip it, or you could definitely have time to go back to your hotel like around noon or 2 o'clock and take a little bit of a break and then come back for the rest of the evening.
I highly recommend taking advantage of this if you can. Obviously, if you have little kids or people who aren't night owls, it's not going to work for you. I think our time was 10 to 12 or 10:30 to 12:30.
Yeah, 10 to 12
at night. So it's late, but when you're Disney, time doesn't matter.
Oh, one cool thing about extended evening is that, so, you know, you got to book Tron through the virtual queue, and you can only book it once through the virtual queue per day. However, if you have extended evening, you can actually book it twice through that virtual queue.
Yeah, they open a special queue just for the individuals experiencing extended evening hours. And this is the perk that's only offered to Deluxe Disney resorts. So even though we weren't staying at one of those deluxe resorts, we still got this perk at a much lower cost, which was really worth it to us. Yeah. We got we're not at the parks all the time, so getting that extra time really helped us to do some things that we would have missed out on, like Snow White, or the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and Tron, and
yeah, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, our wait time for that was maybe 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, versus it was constantly a 90 to 120 minute wait time during the day.
The park just seemed a little more manageable, a lot more manageable. There was almost no one there. You could get any kind of photo you wanted from the PhotoPass photographers. You could get pictures in front of the castle with virtually no one else in them. I got to take a picture with Rapunzel's lantern that, the line was super long every other time. So it's just a really cool perk.
But of course, 2 hours goes by quick, so just make sure you know what you want to do during that time. And as Alex said, we'll be talking about maybe the best strategy for that in a different video. So make sure you subscribe and look out for that video.
Yeah.
All right, so thanks for hanging out with us for this long. If you made it this far in our video, that means you're ready to hear our honest opinion on what we thought about staying at the Swan Hotel and if it was worth it.
Yeah, so some of the pros were, it was on Disney property, super walkable to lots of things. The boardwalk, the Epcot International Gateway, Hollywood Studios, usually the Skyliner transportation option.
The rooms were very clean.
Yes.
The beds were super comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Early entry and extended evening hours. The pools were beautiful. Mm-hmm. The gym was beautiful. The spa was amazing. Let's talk about some of the cons. All right, some of the cons. The hot tubs / whirlpools could have been hotter. Also, they felt a little... they were like half full, which we're both tall individuals, so that kind of made a difference for us. The extra resort fee is definitely a con. It's not a deal breaker, but it is something to keep in mind. Because you're on Disney property, you are experiencing Disney prices for the restaurants and the spa and things like that. Another con is companies, conventions, sports teams tend to stay at these hotels and use their convention centers as well as their amenities. So that's something to keep in mind, that there may be large groups there during your stay. We had some large groups there and we didn't see it as a big issue, but I do know for certain parts of the year it can be tough.
You might be riding down the elevator with your Mickey ears and sweatshirt on and everything with a couple of people in their suits and ties, but you'll just have to, don't worry about that.
Yeah, I will put a little asterisk. We did not stay here during a cheer competition week, which I know the cheer competitions seem to be what people worry about the most with these hotels, just because those groups like to stay together. But we didn't have that, so can't speak to that point.
And that group is also going to be at the parks, making it busier.
Another con would be that it doesn't have any Disney theming or intellectual property kind of meshed into the rooms or the lobby.
An otherwise beautiful hotel, though.
Oh, super beautiful. So who should stay here? I would definitely recommend it to any fitness enthusiasts. Those people on vacation who might need to get a workout in or a run before you do the parks, or swim laps or anything like that. This is the first hotel that I've seen have multiple lap pools, which you don't see a lot. Usually it's a weirdly shaped pool and the depth's all over the place. So lap pools, they had running trails, walking paths, and the fitness center was truly iconic. So fitness enthusiasts would enjoy it. Anybody who is wanting to grab deluxe perks at a lower cost. What? What?
Just thinking about the iconic fitness center.
Any bargain hunters, basically. I would say bougie bargain hunters, though. This isn't like a bargain. It's a lower cost than the deluxe resorts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're going on a Disney vacation. It is going to cost some cash, just to say it. So if you can save some money from your stay and still get a lot of the same perks that you can get at the other Disney deluxe resorts, I mean, why not?
Families with kids who love pools. The variety of pools was really great. Marriott members or anyone who can book this hotel with credit card points. And then finally, people who want to be close to the nightlife. These hotels are located a very short walk, like 5 to 7 minutes from the boardwalk, which is where Jelly Rolls, the piano bar, and Atlantic Dance Hall are. Those are basically Disney's two nightlife spots. So if that's something you're looking for, this is a great place to stay because you can just pop over there, dance, or do whatever you want to do at the nightlife and walk on back. All in all, this was a beautiful hotel where I found it to be very calming. I liked that we were still on Disney property, but it didn't feel like we were, how do I say this? It didn't feel like we were bombarded with the Disney crowds, even though we were right, a short walk away from the Disney crowds. So I really liked that about it.
And what I really liked about it was that short walk away from Epcot, from Hollywood Studios. I feel like that can't be beat.
Yeah. Would we stay here again?
100% we would stay here again.
I would definitely stay here again too. I think we had watched a couple of reviews before we went, and they didn't make this hotel out to be something amazing, but we had an amazing experience. Our room was beautiful. There was no... This is a hot take, I guess, or something that I look for, but there was no weird smell. There was no kind of musty smell, which can often be present in Orlando-based hotels because they have trouble with the moisture. It was just it was so nice. It was really, really nice. I would definitely stay here again.
So where do you like to stay on your Disney vacation? Let us know down in the comments below.
Yeah, and if you like this video, we're going to be making some more Disney content as well as other travel videos. So be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, like this video and subscribe to our channel to see some more content coming soon.
See you next time.
Thanks. Bye.